All right, let's face it. The Land Cruiser and the folks at Toyota really messed up. Do you know that Toyota wouldn't even be in North America if it wasn't for this guy, the FJ40? From their very first year, they sold one, must have been December, and then they ended up selling, well, over 1 million worldwide. But in the US, they sold tons of FJ40s and the reputation started. That's why we see Camrys, RAV4s, Tacomas. This started it all, and it's the Land Cruiser lineage. So what happened? Why did they not bring the 300 series here? Yeah, I know we get the LX 600, but is it the same? I know that Lexus's, the 450, LX 450 in 96 sold more than the Land Cruiser, but the Land Cruiser's worth more. When you look at a 30-year-old LX, or almost 30-year-old LX 450 compared to a Land Cruiser gets more. On the 80 series, on the 100 series, Land Cruiser retains its value. Why? It's the name. It's all in that name, Land Cruiser. So we have an opportunity to change the trajectory of the future. I'm going to go on Monday, tomorrow. So I want to get your guys' feedback. I'm going tomorrow to a Land Cruiser, or I'm guessing it's a Land Cruiser. It is a third-party company that Toyota has engaged to do market survey and research, and they only want Land Cruiser owners from the 2010 model and up. So what do you guys think? I'm pretty darn sure this is to talk about what the future holds for North America and what design features do us Americans want, right? What do Americans want in their Land Cruiser? Because, that FJ40 from the very first one sold, they sold millions, well, over 1 million worldwide. In the US, tons of FJ40s paved the way for Toyota's success. The 80 series, do you know that they sold like 15,000 a year, especially in 95, 96, 97, and they were selling the LX 450. So over 100, I think it's 110,000 of these puppies hit the road. Huge. But then Cadillac and, the Tahoe, the Infinity, Infinity with their SUV. Everybody got into the game because they saw Lexus and Toyota Land Cruiser have so much success. But then the 100 series, 98, 99, 2000, huge success, hitting the 5 digits, 10, 15,000. And then in the late 2005, 2006, 2007, they started going down to about, on the 100 series and the LX 470, numbers were going down. And the Land Cruiser numbers were going down because, when you were starting to look at a $65,000 car in 2005, which is about $100,000 today, people were like, oh, I'll just get a Lexus. Land Cruiser still sold because some people just want quality, reliability, amazing vehicles, but they want to be low key, like the business owner that doesn't want to show off in front of his employees, but he wants all the great amenities that a Land Cruiser provides. Because people look at a Land Cruiser and they're like, hey, he's not a mega millionaire. They see a Lexus. Oh, you own a Lexus? Where's my pay raise, at the small business? So people still bought Land Cruisers, but they got down to like $2,000 a year with the 200 series. So guess what? We lost it. Toyota pulled the plug. But is it our fault or is it Toyota's fault? And I think it's Toyota's fault. So comment below. Tell me what you think the next 2025, 2026 Land Cruiser should be. Tell me what it should be. By the way, I just bought this yesterday. So I took the running boards off. I took some stickers off. Took the plate off the front bumper. There's my running boards. They're still decent, but you know what? They're just a step on. If you hit it with a rock or boulder, it just will shred like a tin can. So this thing is looking amazing. This is Midnight Shadow, rare color, sought after color. And Otis over here is Moonglow Pearl. And then there's a black diesel. I got videos on these, so you can subscribe to the channel. You'll see comparisons. I compare all Land Cruisers, 200s, 100s, LX to Land Cruiser, 570 to a 200. It goes on and on. I'll put them in the description below so you can check it out and go straight to the video you want to see. But in the rest of the world, they sell tons of 300s. Well, 300s, they just started, but it's in the marketplace for the rest of the world. We didn't get it. So in this market survey, are they wanting to discuss what should be on a Land Cruiser? What do we want? Do they want to take a page out of the book of the Ford Bronco? But I don't think Ford Bronco went live axles, right? I think it's independent front suspension. So Jeep is still the last of the American cars that's being built with live front axles and solid axles in the back too. So is that something we should be asking Toyota to do? Hey, give us back our solid axles. We want to crawl with these. And even though these are solid axles, that's coils, coils and shocks. Amazing. The ride quality is amazing. And I've upgraded a couple of mine to Icon Stage 3, and then Black Mamba here has King Shocks with Icon dual rate springs. It's such a plush ride. It's phenomenal. So, what does Toyota want to do? Bring us a trimmed down Prado? Do they want to give us a 300 series but trim it down too? The 300 series is still big and bulky. This was small and nimble. The 80 series, man, they hit the nail on the head. These are phenomenal. If you've never driven one, get yourself in one. They are just so great. It's such an amazing vehicle. On the 300 series, are they going to be going like 6-cylinder turbo? I don't know. The V8s, like what should we tell them we want? Definitely give me your information. I'm going tomorrow to the survey. I do have to sign an NDA, so I won't be able to disclose what I see, but at the same time, they're not going to say what it is. And I did one of these studies back in 2001. I was invited to a study, and 2 years later, the Hummer 2 came out. And I was damn sure when I was at it, this is for a new Hummer. So yeah, Hummer 2, and they had success with that, with the H2. So Toyota, let's get it right. I think they need to start pushing 5,000, 6,000 units a year, and then it'll be a keeper. I think the 2,000 to 3,000 per year just doesn't cut it. Maybe they should make it custom, right? Kind of like the Range Rover does, where like the autobiography. So they say, hey, do you want just a total bare bones trimmed down Land Cruiser, at a 60, 70,000 price point? Do you want to start adding air, onboard air systems? Do you want to have lockers? Start adding to the price. Let someone trim it out the way they want. Make it affordable, but not cheap. And just make it quality. I think that's what we want. That's what Land Cruiser means. It means quality. Think about it. Land Cruiser took over where the Defender left off. The Defender was worldwide, right? Range Rover, post-war, they dominated. And then along came Land Cruiser, which just gave that same robust and go anywhere, but with the reliability. These things, what we're looking at right now, this 80 series, this will go 500,000 miles before the first engine overhaul. And those engines are built per the Japanese tech and all that. They say they're built to be rebuilt 3 times. So you can get 1.5 million miles out of one of these vehicles with that motor being rebuilt 3 times. How's that? Like, phenomenal. Or I stand corrected. If you get 500 the first time, let's say you get 500 each time, that's 2 million miles. You can't even do 2 million miles in your one lifetime. So these are vehicles that are good for life if you maintain it and do your oil changes. So let me know, what else do you guys think? What should the next Land Cruiser be? Is this, the survey could be for the next FJ Cruiser, which might be a combo of like Land Cruiser, pedigree, and the FJ Cruiser, they built it based off of this look, right? Except with the white bezel. So let us know. Stay tuned. This vehicle here that I just got in the last hour, I took the running boards off. I took the stickers off the back. So I'm getting this thing dialed in. Drives amazing. The engine's so well taken care of. I'll do a full video on this. I'll show the engine bay. So clean, super clean. And the person I bought it from just finished doing about 4,000 plus work just on the engine. New radiator, just did a bunch of things, distributor cap, all that good stuff. And then I'm going to still add to this and do a little bit more work on it. But this one, California, its entire life, not a speck of rust. The frame is all black and beautiful underneath. This thing is phenomenal. Okay, so let's... Toyota's basically invited us to let us bend their ear. So let's bend it. Let's tell them what we want. And I think they have 2 more spots. So if anybody's interested, it is in Anaheim, Santa Ana, California, you got to own a 2010 or up, which I think is kind of silly because I think they want to pick the brain of people that have owned 80 series. They should pick the brain of people that have owned Land Cruisers their whole life, like me. I know what they need. I know what people are looking for, and that's why I'm coming to you guys, the subscribers on this channel, to see what you guys think. So let's help Toyota get it right. Let's get these back in the US. Come on, guys, and in Canada. Let's get these back on the road where they belong, and they got to do a retro, amazing looking Land Cruiser that, if you think about it, they sold over 100,000 of these in just what, 6-7 years. 100,000 of these. Maybe make an 80 series, like base it on that muscular look, because this was unique. The 100 still had some uniqueness. The 200 starting to look like every other truck out there, right? So separate yourself from the crowd, make it robust, make it badass. I think you're going to get a lot of those customers and new customers, but people that have owned an 80, if you do a throwback to an 80 with some of the styling, oh my God, game over. Flared hub wells, make it muscular. Live axles, make it, triple locked, give all the options. All right, so help me, help them. Again, there's only 2 more spots, so your voice can be heard vicariously through me when I go on Monday. Oh, Land Cruisers. And think about it. If you own 80s or any other Land Cruiser, if they come out with like kind of a retro style, kind of like the Bronco, Ford Bronco, guess what? Values are going to shoot up. Hell, even give us a diesel. Wouldn't that be cool? Everybody's going electric. Do not give us a hybrid, please. Do not give us an electric Land Cruiser, but give us diesel. That would be awesome. We never got diesels, so I had to go get some. That's diesel. That's diesel. And that's diesel. And one thing I can share with you, they drive amazing. My daughter, actually, my 19-year-old, drives this. She loves it. I got her to drive my wife's LX 570, which is like a 200. You know what she said? I don't like it. I can't feel the road. I'm not getting any feedback from the vehicle. That's why when you drive one of these, you're driving. It's like stick shift. You're experiencing the drive. You're not on autopilot, falling asleep, bored to death. So that's why it's not such a bad move to make them live axles. Make it solid axles. It's not going to be as smooth as independent front suspension, but it's pretty darn close, but you feel the road. And then when you go off-road, game over. You're beating everybody. That's what solid axles are. That's why they put them in pickup trucks in the back, right? All right. I've spoken enough. Looking forward to your comments. I think this video is mostly driven for comments, so don't be shy. Hit like, let's get attention. Let's get Toyota's attention on this video. So if you hit like, that helps the algorithm with Google and YouTube. And subscribe. All right. Looking forward to it. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. And fingers crossed, the next Land Cruiser, hopefully 2024. That might be too early, but 25, 26. Think about it. In 2001, when I went to that whole vehicle survey, getting our opinions, H2 came out in 2003, 2 years. So they can pump out vehicles pretty quick. They got to keep their factories busy. So hopefully 2025, we see something coming here in the US. That Land Cruiser pedigree, that badge, 70 years. Come on, guys. Can't give up now. This is what you owe your whole business to, is the Land Cruiser breaking into the American market. All right. Happy trails, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.